Hello, my name is Monica and welcome to my channel. And today I am going to be talking about some really wonderful patterns that I have found in my searches. Kind of spring edition, kind of just a free-for-all of what I like and what would be bearable to knit during the warmer months. Let's jump into it. So I've split this up into kind of sections, kind of not. It's basically socks, then tops, but tops has a few categories. So we're going to do socks, sleeveless tops, vests, sweaters. We're going to start off with two pairs of socks. The first two pairs of socks that are on this list are ones that are by the same designer. Their name is Ducanthi, and the first pair of socks, I cannot pronounce the German pronunciation of that, but they are basically the Dwarf Uprising socks. Now, they are a little more wintry because in reading the description, the white on them is snowflakes, which, looking closer, of course, there's very snowflake-esque designs. But I still think they're very fun and kind of spring because of the little dwarfs. They look like garden gnomes, which I think is very charming and sweet and very spring. They are knit from the top down, and they are a fingering weight yarn. So it is like traditional color work, very pretty. But what I love and makes these socks so unique and charming, and also, I don't know if I've really seen this besides in Ducanthi's designs, but they have these beautiful designs on the, it's not really the heel, it's like on the bottom of the heel, but even like, it's, I guess, like the palm of your heel. I don't know what the correct term for that is, but that's where the little dwarf guy goes. So it's just like such a fun little pop and cute detail that makes these socks so special. And like I said, not something you see. It's not really something you see very often. If you're having little dwarfs on the bottom of your feet isn't really your jam, maybe this other pair will be. So again, it is by Ducanthi, also a fingering weight yarn. But instead of little dwarfs on the heels, there's a heart and what looks like a sun. I'm guessing it's a sun. And then what also makes these socks really special is there's this little moon pattern on the, I think, left foot, like left front calf. And I think it just adds such a nice detail where really it shows that it's homemade, but it doesn't, not in like a kitschy way, but in like a elevated way, you know? It's like, yes, I made these and I was able to make these two slightly differently. I say that, but the only thing about that moon is I usually knit my socks at the same time, and I'll knit them on the same set of needles with like separate balls of yarn. I've been told that's called magic loop, but I also know magic loop is just like not that as well, and that's when people say magic loop, they're not saying knitting two socks at once. Usually they're saying doing a certain thing with like long round needles. So if I were to knit them at the same time, I feel like it'd be a little harder, but also that part I could just put on one section, and like, because I would have that other color attached to it, I would know when to work that as opposed to the other one. So I don't think it would be that difficult. I think I could still do it. Maybe the heel palm design would be actually more difficult, but I could always like knit them at the same time, do those separately, put it back on the needles. I might do that because I get really bad, like one sock syndrome or whatever it's called, and I will not finish a pair of socks if I don't knit them at the same time. Yeah, if you ever want me to show you how I do that, I could probably make a video on it. I need to perfect my system, especially when the pattern is not written for that. Like the pair of socks that I'm making now, it's the, I think it's called the Plant Lady socks. I'm blanking on the designer's name, but I'll put him here. I've kind of had to do some weird finagling that is not a science. So maybe I'll make those again and try to do it in like a better way. But those are also like a slightly more complex sock to knit just because there's a lot of detailing. And so doing them at the same time is kind of tough. It's not an exact science, and it's kind of piecemealed together. So I can walk you through how I kind of do it if you want. Just let me know. Next on our list of socks, this is the third and final pair of socks on this list. Probably the most spring item on here. the Loopy Knit socks by Suvi, and here's her last name. These I think are so charming. I think the little popping, that sounds kind of gross. The little flowers that pop out, they have such like cool texture that makes these really unique. So these are a DK weight yarn, top knit from the top down, and so they probably will go a lot quicker than Ducante's socks. These are knit with size US 4 needles, or 3.5 millimeter needles if you go by that. What really draws me to them is this lupin flower design, and I think it would be actually really fun to incorporate that into other knits once I learn how to do it in this sock. So next section is tank tops / sleeveless tops. So the first thing on this list is actually a bralette, but I'm just putting it into this section anyways. So it is called the Fausta. I looked this up and I still can't remember how to pronounce it, but the Fausta bralette by Loki Bold Knits. I love the ribbing texture of this top. I think it gives it such like a luxurious feel, and also like how it fits. When you look at all of the project listings of it, there's not many, but they all like just hug people's boobs so nicely. I think you put in your underbust size and your cup size, and then it affects what you knit. And I think it's just so luxuriously gorgeous and like looks so well fitting. And I just love the idea of making some sort of top that's like specifically tailored for my boobs. It is knit with a DK weight yarn. It is ribbed all over, which I feel like might be a little annoying to knit, but my friend also talked about, she's been learning how to knit recently because I introduced her to it, and she's doing really good. She's doing a lot of petite knit patterns, but she learned how to do the purl stitches on where you don't have to switch the yarn over, and she said it was a game changer. But I would love to learn how to knit that way for sake of ease and speed. But this top, I love it so much. Regardless of how long it takes me, I want to make it. It has been on my list for many years, but sadly there is not enough time in the day to make all the things on my list. I digress. Also, anything on this list that I mention, if you do end up making it, I would love to see it. So, I don't know, tag my Instagram, even though I'm like not on Instagram very much these days, or let me know in the comments, I guess, whoever's watching this. I'm not usually like a big knit tank top girly, but this one really spoke to me. I think it's this designer. Sorry, I need to say the name. It is the Fleur Cami by Brianna Mason. And what really draws me to it is this little eyelet design. So usually, like I said, I'm not much of a tank top girly, like a knit tank top girly, but the little eyelets, I think, in this piece are what really draws me to it. It adds such like a nice texture, and again, feels very elegant and sweet. And I do like the shape of the shoulders, I think, but I also kind of want to try to make this in just like a boat neck top. I think that would be really sweet and lovely. And it's not that I don't like the triangles. I have tops that kind of look like that, but I also don't know if I love that kind of top. Like I said, I have I have tank tops that are like that, and I've liked them in the past, but part of me wonders if it's a shape or silhouette that I like on myself. And right now I've been kind of obsessed with boat neck tops, and I just don't have enough boat neck tops in my life. And I feel like that's easily remedied because it is literally making a pattern more simple. Now, from tank tops / bralettes, we are now going on to vests. How spring is this top? I don't know. But again, I kind of put things in a spring knit category of would I care about how much yarn I am carrying around / will I die of heat and like feel gross and sticky and like covered in hair when carrying this in warmer weather. You know, like that's what makes it a spring knit or not. It doesn't matter if it's actually something you would wear in the spring. Also, if you're knitting in the spring, the likelihood of being able to wear it that spring, so low. Anyways, this is high up on my list of things I want to make. I think I want to make it out of mohair because I think it'll do cool things. For some reason lately, I've been really wanting to do color work with mohair, but I'm also realizing now with floats, that's probably why you don't see a lot of color work with mohair, is because the back we'll come back to that. But this is the Tracery vest by Kathleen Sperling, and it is a really cool, what's that word? It's a cool stained glass inspired knit top. It's very gothic, very kind of dark academia, but with a twist. And I think it'd be really fun to do the color work part. That's the whole thing. I think it'd be really fun to do the stained glass part with mohair, because I think it would add like a cool dimension to it. Now, what I did just realize is like, how would floats work? But also, if I do, I've learned, I think I mentioned it in another video, the bee cowl that I made. I learned how to do this really cool way of doing color work where you kind of basically create a web, like a back knit part, so you don't have to deal with floats. So maybe I could do that for this, and it would help create just like an evenness and disperse the back color. I don't know, I'll have to play around with this, because I love the idea of color worked mohair. It just seems so soft, cozy, luxurious. There's this like one lemon top, which I guess I could have put in this list, but I'll put it up here right now. That looks so sweet and wonderful, and it is a mohair color worked piece, and I really want to like take that idea and run with it and do other things, because I do like the lemon top, but it's not necessarily my like style. Although I definitely would wear it, I would love to play around with this idea more, and this vest is what I want to do it with. I don't know, this is not really a vest, it's a waistcoat. It's vest-like though, but I just put it in here because this is something I've been wanting to make for a really long time, and I feel like it would be completely miserable to knit in the spring. I don't know, this one's kind of on the brink, but it's really cute, and if you do start it in spring, I think it would be super cute and like good for cozy nights. Picture cottagecore life, gathering wood in the summer, but like instead of wearing, your outdoorsy gear or fleece, it would be this cute little waistcoat. It is the Chelsea waistcoat by Corinne Helene Rain. And this has been on my Ravelry list for forever because I made what's it called? Why am I blanking? A shawl? There we go. And I really liked how it turned out, and I kind of made it as like a little wear around the house to keep cozy, but I didn't make it wide enough. And so when I try to wear it like a waistcoat and how I want to, it just bunches up. So I found this and was like, oh my God, this fixes all the problems. Like it won't bunch up when I'm lifting my arms up. It is made specifically to like button in the back because it has those buttons in the back, and it just seems like it would be so cute and comfortable. It is a little bit more cottagey than I usually wear, but I think I can make it, I think it can be like also styled in really cool ways. Like yes, it could just be an at-home cozy piece, but I feel like it could also be really elegant and like fun and artsy. It is made with a DK weight yarn, and it uses a size 9 US needles or 5.5 millimeter needles. So I think this would be a really quick knit. It is made with alpaca, so it is a wool design. So it might be pushing it on the tolerableness of how like warm it would be carrying it around in like warmer months, but you do what you do for the things you love. So maybe it's a good like knit at home piece instead of like a bring it with you piece. It only goes size extra small to extra large, so not the best size range. I mean, at the very least, if you wanted to like make it bigger, you could just use a thicker yarn, easily make it bigger without having to do a bunch of crazy calculations to extend the size. Now we are slowly transitioning from just vests to vests with a little bit of a sleeve. The next piece on my list has been on my Ravelry queue for so long, and I think I'm saying this about all these pieces. I really, really want to make all of these. There is not enough time in the day, like I said. So if you do make them, please show me. Like I said, I will repeat that so much because I mean it so much. But this is the Bifurka vest by Teti Lutska. There's something so sweet about this vest. I think what really draws me to it is the shape of the neckline and, of course, the color work within the neckline. But really, that rectangular neckline just really speaks to me. And you'll see that because the next piece also has that detailing in it. But this is knit with a DK weight yarn with size US 1.5/2.5 needles, or 2.5 millimeter and 3.0 millimeter needles. This has 2, 4, 8, 9 sizes, which is pretty good. And it seems, well, no, it's not that oversized, but it's so cute. It's so sweet. I have no idea what colors I would make it in, because I do love the oatmeal and red, but also I don't wear that much red. I'm starting to wear more red, but I definitely am more of a maroon girl, which this is maroon. Maybe it's like a burnt orangey color, but that I still need to figure out what I would do. She would also look really cute with white and blue, like the traditional kind of porcelain look. That could be really fun. Or white and black, or like a cream and a black. As cute as those would be, they're not what I want to do it in. So I don't know. That's something I need to decide. But that is the next piece on our list is very similar to the last one, but it is more oversized and has some slight different detailing. This is the Elena sweater. So now we're transitioning into our sweater section by Junko Okamoto. This piece has the same rectangular, hexagonal, I'm not remembering my shapes at the moment, but hexagonal kind of neckline that I love about the last one. But this one has sleeves and is more oversized, which I appreciate and think is really sweet. It also has some more ribbing within it, I think. Like, it has some ribbed panels down the side. So not only does it have color work within it, it has like these textured nubbins that are really sweet and delicious. I don't know how else to describe it. It just adds such wonderful, like, luxurious texture. I love texture so much. This is knit with a sport weight yarn. Uses size 4, 2.5, and 1.5 US needles, or 3.5, 3, and 2.5 millimeter needles. This will be a time-consuming piece, but I want to do every single moment of it. I'm not quite sure how it is knit, like the construction of it. The neck rib and the color work is worked in the round while increasing to a rectangle. Do you guys like it when people tell you like how it's constructed in these videos? In my head it just kind of goes, because I'm like, I like that, I want to make it, or I don't like it, so I won't make it. So the construction doesn't really matter to me. The determination will get me through. But if you do like it, I will try to be better at including that information within this video, because I want to give the people what they want. Even if it's not what I want when I watch these things. I just want to look at pretty pictures and hear people also enthusiastically talk about yarn and knitting. This one I think is slightly higher on my list than the other one, just because I think it's really that little pop of texture that gets me. The next piece on our list, this is the one that is my number one knit on my queue. So once I finish my Plant Lady socks, this will be what I am making, because I found the yarn and then I found this pattern. It's the Orbital Jumper by Ranty. This is her last name. So this is knit with, I guess, any gauge of yarn, but with a mohair. This has stripes in it, but I'm planning to make mine without the stripes. My only problem is there was only one skein of this stuff, and I don't think I have enough yarn for the entire thing. So my plan is, the yarn has like these dark black navy-y sections. So I bought some black mohair, and I'm kind of wanting to just make those sections a little bigger maybe. We'll see. I'm going to have to get really clever with it. It uses size 10 or 15 US needles, or 6 millimeter or 10 millimeter needles, if you go by that. It is a pretty simple design. It's got these beautiful puff sleeves, and it seems pretty malleable. Honestly, maybe this is a piece that I could try to make myself and not use a pattern, but also I'm just of the mentality of like, if there's a pattern, I will just use it and then make little changes to it instead of trying to reinvent the wheel. Also, I find when knitting that because patterns will have more intention put behind them, they'll have little techniques and ways to knit and finish things that I wouldn't have thought of without doing them. So like German short rows or something, you know? So this goes from size extra small to XXL, or no, not XXL, 5XL, which is pretty sick. And I don't know, it just looks so cozy and fun. And I think it is a great summer/spring knit because even though it's mohair, which is pretty warm, I find crop jumpers like this very breezy, obviously. But yeah, and I think the puff sleeves are really sweet. Usually, I don't think I have anything with puff sleeves, but with this, it just feels so cool, cute, and sweet and fun. And it's got raglan sleeves. That too. I don't think I've done a raglan knit before, which is kind of surprising. The next one on my list, this one, she is a special beauty. I have a story to go with this. So this is the number 5, Ionia. I looked this up, how to pronounce it, over my head. It is gone. But by Sarah Dallas. This is it's a place in Greece, I guess. One of my hobbies is to just go through Ravelry and look through all of the things that are posted. And you can find some really cool knits. And what's great is they have the source, which you can't always find that on like Pinterest. I still love Pinterest and I still use it all the time. So this piece, I found it when doing one of those like big rummages through Ravelry and I fell in love. I think it's the colors and just the oversizedness, although this is a one size fits all piece or one size only piece, which don't love those. Honestly, I find that to be disrespectful. No, but honestly, like one size sweater doesn't fit everyone. I mean, it does have very intricate color work and everything, but make more sizes, you know? Make it make sense. So on me, this will probably be a bit more tight unless I make modifications. It is so cute and retro, and the crazy intricacy. I don't think I mentioned this. This is a Rowan knit, and it's a vintage Rowan pattern. So when I saw this, I was like, I need it in my life right now. Give me. But this you cannot buy on Ravelry, and it is not a pattern that is saved in like their archives or anything. Maybe it's in one of their books. I do have like a Rowan Through the Ages book that I do have a lot of great patterns in it that I really want to make, which I'll probably make a video of that. That'd be actually kind of fun. That's a great video idea of like Rowan patterns I would really love to make. And this is one of them. And so yeah, when I found it, I was like, I need that right now, but it is no longer published. And so I scoured the internet to find this piece. And I found a woman on Ravelry who said she had it. And I contacted her and I bought it from her. So actually, hold please. I bought the issue that it shows up in. And I do also really like a lot of the other sweaters that are in this book. Like I really like this one as well. She's like very similar vibes and like color as the other one. They're kind of a tie as to which I want to make more, but I think the Iona one is kind of more up there to me. So the lady was very nice and sold it to me, but also like, look at these ones. They're just so pretty. Rowan has like such unique pieces. Some of them, like, I feel like they can be hit or miss, but it's also like not all of them are made for me, you know? And I think the ones that are misses for me are like big hits for other people. But yeah, oh, so pretty. This one is made out of cotton, which also like, I don't know how I feel about that either. I'm kind of like, do I want a large, cozy cotton sweater? Like, is that really possible? Or do I want to like try to make it in wool? I don't know, but it's a DK weight sweater. I think I might make it in wool, and this would be like a really intricate color work thing to take on, which I think would be really fun. And I think you used like the little cards where you like do little sections of the yarn, and then it's like a lot of little things going at once. It feels like it's almost like a weaving. That is how many colors are in this piece, and I am here for it, and I really want to take that on. The last piece on here is a crochet piece. I feel like crochet, I am not a crochet girly unless I like really, really, really want the thing that I will be making. I don't know, in this green color, it's a little less springy, but also it could work in winter even though it's more airy, but like layered with stuff would be pretty cute, I think. It uses a DK weight bamboo yarn. I can be really picky when it comes to crochet tops and how they look. I think it's because the drape of the fabric is just, it's not as drapey. Like, the beauty of crochet is how structured you can get the fabric to be, which is great for bags and like bralettes and that kind of stuff. But when it comes to like actual tops, I am not a huge crochet girly. I'm sorry. Like, if it's yours thing, that's fine. It's just not mine. But this top, it, like, when I originally saw it, I thought it was a knit top, and I was like, yes, please, I want that top. I would like to make it. And then I saw that it was crochet, and it's like, well, it looks like I'm gonna crochet. It looks like I'm going to crochet something again. Yeah, I really love the iridescence of the fabric from the bamboo, and I love all of the, what's that called? The like peekaboo-ness, the holes. That makes it sound bad, but see-throughness of the fabric. Yeah, the iridescence of the bamboo. So just overall, I think it makes such a unique, fun top that I originally thought was knit, but it's not. So I will be crocheting again. So that is it. I have so many other knits saved on my Ravelry, so if you want any more of these from me, let me know, to the 2 people who are watching. I also, I don't know, I like to try to find pieces that aren't in other people's things. I think a few I found from other people mentioning them, which is not a bad thing by any means, but I also want to give you guys fresh, different things you might not have seen, because the last thing I want is to just regurgitate stuff that other people have already talked about, which is, again, not bad, but I just don't want that to be everything that I show you. So if you want more of these, even if they're not like season themed, let me know. And yes, that is it. I'm really bad at goodbyes, so goodbye, and I will see you in the next video.